up today on Studio 13 Live.
Moana!
Dwayne Johnson making a very special announcement from Hawaii. We're getting a Moana live-action movie. We're letting you in on what we know.
And we're taking you on an Art Deco architecture tour around downtown Seattle. Learn the unique designs of some of Seattle's most iconic buildings with the Seattle Architecture Foundation.
Plus, we're chatting with actress and producer Roma Downey about her new film, On a Wing and a Prayer.
Then Cantina Monarca is showing us how to make their heirloom tomate salad and Wagyu tacos. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today.
Hey, thank you so much for being here with us today. Hope it's a groovy little Tuesday for you. I'm Mireya Garcia.
I'm Henderson. I like that. Groovy, baby. I feel like your outfit's a little groovy today.
I'm leaning into it, girl.
Dig it. Well, it's actually National Hug a News Person Day as well.
Ooh.
When you're supposed to show appreciation for your news people. But I'm just going to say, I'd prefer a high five.
You know, I love the love, but virtual hugs only, my friends.
Yeah, little high five, little tip of the cap.
You know what I'm really excited about? I love Moana, the Disney cartoon.
Yes,
But
so good.
we have just gotten a major announcement from Dwayne Johnson about a new film. He made this announcement out of Hawaii.
Yes, I am so excited for this too. So it is official. A Moana live action movie is in the works. In this video, Johnson shared how much the film means to him personally and his character Maui. And don't worry, The Rock says all of your favorite characters are returning.
Moana, Grandma Tala, the music, the dance, Tafiti, Pua the pig, the village, the beautiful, powerful ocean, and one more, what's that, guys? Oh, yours truly, Hey Hey the chicken. Kidding, Hey Hey's gonna be in it, but of course Maui will be in it too.
Disney says that the live-action movie will celebrate the islands, communities, and traditions of Pacific Islanders. Johnson's going to be a producer for the film. So far, we don't have any kind of release date yet. It hasn't been announced yet, but we do know that the original writer is back for the remake.
This is so fun. And just yesterday, we were talking about these remakes. I think the thing that is most surprising to me is that it's coming so early on because the other films were a lot older and they were kind of bringing them back around. I feel like Moana is still pretty new.
It is pretty new.
me.
Yeah, this is the first one in the 21st century that they've already done like a live action version of, so that's cool. The music in this movie was so good too, like that I Love a You song and the other one we were singing before this.
I know.
It's so good. And Lin-Manuel Miranda actually had a huge part in the music for this, so maybe we'll get another song from him. He's so talented too. It's going to be great.
So speaking of major entertainment films, okay, so you might actually be able to watch Harry Potter as a TV show coming up pretty soon. So Warner Brothers Discovery is working on a deal to bring that series to HBO Max. And according to Bloomberg, each season would be based off of a different book in the original Harry Potter series. And then that company is also in talks with author J.K. Rowling to bring her on board as a producer. And I will say that in this new age of television, I feel like when we're talking about novels that are a series like this, TV does seem to work pretty darn well.
It really does. Like Bridgerton is so successful on Netflix. Oh, it's always like the most watched show at the time. And each season of that is based off of a book. So I was thinking the same thing with that too. It'll be really interesting. I know a lot of people don't want to put more money in JK's pockets, rightfully so. But I mean, realistically, with the way that entertainment and like licensing works, I really doubt contractually that she would give away everything without taking on some little aspect of creative control. So that might just come with it, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and it really seems, at least on TikTok, that major Harry Potter fans have really made peace with separating the creator from the art that they created, you know? So I think that this will have some success. It is interesting, though, because the Harry Potter movies, I think, though they did leave a lot out, as a film has to do from time to time, they did a really good job sort of capturing the feeling. And we're kind of starting all over again. So it's either going to be really good or really bad. We'll have to see.
I feel like they'll do it well, though. I mean, it's just such a huge franchise, and it'll be new actors and, you know, a little bit of a new twist on it. So I know a lot of Potterheads are going to be very excited about that. Let's talk about Ariana Grande. She says that she is having a life-changing experience for her role in Wicked. She posted on Instagram telling fans how grateful she is to be part of the production. In a very long caption, Grande says she's transforming and healing parts of herself that she never knew needed it. If you didn't know, she's playing Glinda for the Broadway musicals film. Wicked Part 1 and Part 2 are scheduled to hit theaters on Christmas Day in 2024 and in 2025. So they're filming 2 at the same time. And this is really exciting. As a huge fan of Wizard of Oz growing up, and I've seen Wicked on Broadway twice, once in London, once in New York. I cannot wait for this film, and the cast is incredible. It's just gonna be so good.
That is so fun. I also watched Wicked in London, and it was just breathtaking. I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, I've of course heard of the Wizard of Oz, but I really didn't have a full grasp of what I was watching. It was kind of a gift, you know?
Yeah.
And for that big note, do you know the one I'm talking about? Okay, so I just gasped. It was beautiful. And then I fully downloaded all the songs because that's what you do. So I'm very excited to watch this rendition. It'll be fun.
It'll be amazing.
Yeah, I think
add it to the list of things you and I have in common from our past.
I know, girl.
This is crazy.
We're
we have a
just
long
two
list.
cool gals that have a lot in common.
Couple cool gals.
Hey, there are some new details for this movie. We have been talking about this for months, and now we are getting a look at it. The Barbie movie. A new trailer has confirmed more cast members, so this is highly anticipated. And it has a star-studded cast featuring, of course, Margot Robbie as Barbie, Ryan Gosling as Ken. That all tracks to me. Helen Mirren is the narrator, and Will Ferrell is set to be in the movie as well. This is going to be hitting theaters July 21st, and if this doesn't scream summer, my goodness.
Oh my gosh. It's got to be the film of the summer, movie of the summer. Everybody's going to see this movie. It looks so good. And the plot is still super hush-hush. It's very under wraps at this point, aside from what we can take away from these like teaser trailers. But I love all of these different celebrities that are in it. Who knows how long? Like, I don't know if Dua Lipa is going to have a massive role in this, but it's just going to be so fun to kind of spot them in their different points. And I love all the different Barbies and Kens. And it looks very, very campy.
Which you love. You need to laugh sometimes. Not everything has to be like heavy Oscar worthy. Like you can also have fun at the movies.
Yeah, I know. I noticed too, like all the women have all these incredible roles, like author, president, like all the different Barbies, you know, and then all of the Kens in the posters just said, just Ken, just another Ken. So I'm excited to see what they do with that and what kind of take they put on it. Well, Easter is just around the corner and kids are ready to hunt for eggs. An organization in California continued its tradition of making Easter egg hunts accessible for kids who are blind. And they did this by using beeping eggs. So the devices are borrowed from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and usually they're used for training canines. But once a year, they actually help make Easter accessible for kids. More than 400 kids took part in the tradition that's been going on for more than 15 years. And I just have to say, what a great way to come together. This is awesome.
It really is. I love to see it. You know, you often don't think about, you know, needs that you don't personally need, but I love that there are organizations out there that are making sure everybody feels included, especially our children, you know, who are really just, they're kids at the end of the day. No matter what needs that they have that are additional, they're just kids and they want to have a good time.
Absolutely. Warms my heart. I love it. Well, it is no secret that people in Seattle certainly have their ways, and they definitely have their stereotypical pet peeves.
You don't say.
I mean, the shock, right?
So, you know what? We had some fun and asked you on social media, in 5 words or less, what are some ways you can annoy a Seattleite?
Okay. Barry says, ever been to the Space Needle? Hey, I like the Space Needle.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
All right, so Sean says, where's your umbrella? I said this too.
I knew there was going to be an umbrella one in there. Brian says, Howard Schultz sold our Sonics. Oh, that's too real.
That is too real. I know. And you know.
Sonics will come back, though.
They will. They should.
They should.
I did move here from the OKC, and that is a joke I will never make because I know how seriously people take it. And yes, the Sonics should definitely come back. And you know, this one is not 5 words, but an important one. Jan says, OMG, it rains there all the time. Don't you get depressed?
But the thing is, just let people think that from out of town. You know, don't tell them all of our beautiful, not saying it doesn't rain, but don't tell them about our beautiful like blue skies and how it's the most stunning, sparkling city, especially
They
on
don't
a
need to know
clear day.
that.
They don't need to know that. about that. Well, don't forget, you can always join the conversation on social media at Studio 13 on Fox. And I have to say, this is a hot take, okay? This is a controversial opinion.
Okay.
I like umbrellas.
So
I am pro umbrella. It's because we have to do our hair, Mireya.
Oh my
Who
gosh.
wants to let your hair get soaked?
I know, I
and have to
know.
restyle it the next day.
Absolutely.
There are tools created for that.
There are. I will say that I have invested in a good rain jacket, you know, at the recommendation of every single person that I work with. And I am a forgetful person. So if I don't have my umbrella, I just pop that coat on. But, you know, especially if I'm walking around with the dogs or a little kid, like, I'm sorry, but a 120-pound dog that is soaking wet is a nightmare. So I will throw that umbrella up on my dog.
I do the same thing with my dog, who is only 13 pounds and very fluffy.
That's okay.
I gotta protect his beautiful Pomeranian hair.
That's
you know?
right.
All right, well, still to come on Studio 13 Live, we are checking in with our besties, Jody and Bender.
They're giving us all the details on Tiger King star Carole Baskin closing her big cat rescue, including where all those animals are going. We'll be right back.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around.
It is time to check in with our besties for mornings on 95.7 The Jet, Jody and Bender. Hey guys, happy Tuesday.
Hi guys.
Hi.
How are ya?
Good to see your faces. So I hear that due to the price of eggs, you know about some kind of alternative Easter egg hunts happening this year? Fill us in on that.
So I know what you're thinking. Wow, we're gonna go to Jody and Bender to find out all about eggs
Yeah.
and
I
the
mean, you both have
price
kids.
and the inflation of eggs, and that's with Easter coming up on Sunday. Apparently, obviously, as you know, if you've gone shopping anytime in the last, 6 to 12 months, you have seen the price of eggs skyrocket. Well, since January, the prices may have come down a little bit, but everybody is now, for those decorating for Easter, people are now decorating potatoes as opposed to eggs. It's cheaper. And when you think about it, you
Smarter.
actually have more of a canvas
But it's
when
so
you're decorating
porous.
potatoes.
I don't know. I guess you could go potato head and like
Put a little
push pin
face on
something
it.
on it. I don't know.
Maybe. I feel like the color would get just like brownish and still very matte. I don't know. I can't picture it, but I mean, I'm not ruling it out. Sure, why not? Are you gonna do it with your kid, Mireya?
A little respect for the potato. A little
More
respect
respect.
would be nice. The potato has given us so much.
I love
You
potato.
know, you could eat it 16 ways, but you don't want to
That
dress
is a
it up.
great point, though. You
Thank
bring up
you.
a very good point, because with the egg, it's unless you do it with brown eggs, then you really wouldn't know the difference. The canvas is still going to be the brown
like it.
background.
I like it.
So with the potato, it is a bit coarse. I know. My God, where would we have this information without our bi-weekly appearance with Jody
How
and
would we
Bender
know?
on Studio 13
How would
Live?
we know?
I will say though, I
How
don't know
would
about
we
you guys,
know?
but
You wouldn't know.
when I did an Easter egg hunt when I was young, we did the little plastic eggs that you can open,
Yeah.
and there was like candy and like little things inside of it. So
That would be good too. Another option.
They
Another
still do
option.
those.
All right, on to some other
you-
weird and
has
nonsensical
Josh
news.
gone-
Let's talk about Tiger King star Carole Baskin. So she's closing down her beloved cat rescue. What's going on there?
Yeah, it's actually good news because, as Carol and her husband say, the point of the rescue was that there would be less big cats to rescue. So eventually they wanted to put themselves out of business. So I guess that's what they're doing. Closing down the Florida sanctuary, sending all 35 cats to Arkansas, where there's a refuge, and they will provide for them for the rest of their lives to live out there.
oh wow.
Yeah, I like to
Yeah.
hear that. Yeah, and you know
Yeah,
what? I've
bye,
never been a
Carol.
huge fan of those roadside cat rescues. Not a big fan myself.
Yeah, didn't you cover a lot of that at your old
And-
station?
I did. I knew the Tiger King himself for a time.
Wow.
Stop it.
What?
Did you just name drop the Tiger King?
Go on. More,
A little
please.
fact
More.
about that, Mireya.
More.
I'm so curious.
Yeah, well, I did not appear in the Netflix documentary, but 4 of my coworkers did.
Really?
So we were out talking to him quite regularly. And, he ran for governor, and we had to cover him along with everybody else. So I'm familiar.
You're familiar. Well, let's talk about this.
And you
a
know
new
the
TikTok.
Tiger King has already thrown his hat in the ring for the presidential run
I
in
do know that.
2024.
Yes, but he has a lot going on now, so I don't think that's going to go well. Just a guess.
Probably not. He's still in prison,
Yes,
right?
he is.
Yeah.
He sure
A
is.
lot going on. It wouldn't have gone very well.
Well, I hear about this new TikTok trend. It's got some teens and tweens and maybe even adults trying to figure out if they are the family's password child. What does this mean and what is this trend all about?
Yeah.
Well, the password child is the obvious favorite, to put it quite simply, because the password child, their name or their birthday or something that's associated with them is in the password for the Wi-Fi. So if you come from a house where your name is, say, Larry, and your brother's name is Keith,
Larry,
and the password is Keith123, then guess who mom and dad like better?
Aww.
Keith.
But one might just be the
He's the
oldest
password child.
and maybe they never updated it.
What if you were the youngest child?
I mean, you
that
can
means
tell
it did
yourself
get
that
updated.
far away
Yeah.
if that makes you feel better.
I don't know.
it's
I
funny
only
because I'm
have the
thinking to
one
myself as
kid,
we were
so
going
he
into
would
this
have nothing to brag
conversation,
about.
Yeah.
Right. I was wondering, it was funny going into the conversation, I think to myself, where there's 4 of us, you sit there and go, somebody's going to out their password accidentally.
That's right. Not me.
No.
No.
Oh my goodness.
All
Well,
right.
it has been lovely chatting with you guys as always. We will see you again.
All right. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye.
Enjoy your potato
Bye.
hunt.
Aren't they
I love
just
all
so
this
fun?
unique news they're bringing
I
us
know.
today. Let's talk about this. A bald eagle at the World Bird Sanctuary in Missouri has gone viral after it mistook a rock for an egg. Murphy has been taking great care of what he thinks is an egg. He's built a comfy nest, incubating it, and he's been cackling at any birds who come too close. The World Bird Sanctuary says that this is a natural response and is a common mistake eagles make.
Oh,
That's kind of adorable if you
Well,
think about it.
You know what? Good job, buddy. It's never going to hatch, but good job to you.
It's like a doll or something. You know,
I
when
know.
little kids have their own little doll that they take care of. and
Yeah.
everything? It's like that. But
That's very nice.
For eagles.
All right, so there is the new phrase. It's called quarantine nostalgia. It's floating around. I don't know about this. Okay, so at the start of the pandemic made a lot of us take a step back from our busy lives. We lived in our PJs, this
Yeah.
girl did for sure, and found new ways to connect with people. And according to a counselor, some people are actually getting a bit nostalgic about that time period because we miss the break, we miss being left alone, and we miss having some time to ourselves. And Carly, let me tell you, my Facebook memories just popped up, and apparently on this day, you know, a couple years back in
3
the
years now.
pandemic, I had been by myself for so long. I mean, my husband was there, but he was still leaving for the office, and my
Yeah.
son was in daycare. I accidentally put my pants on backwards, not inside out, but backwards, and I was like that most of the day until I finally looked in a mirror.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What a weird time to think about. But I will say there are some things that I get nostalgic for a little bit. You know, I went back home to Colorado. I got to spend a lot of time with my mom and my family. And so that was really nice because, you know, as an adult, if you live away and you live in a different city, you really don't get that much time with your parents aside from like holidays or trips that you're planned. So we played a lot of this board game called Ticket to Ride and just went on hikes. I'm from a very small town. So it was nice to be away from people. And so as horrible as that time was in the world and how I would never want what happened to the world to happen again,
Right.
I do think there were a lot of like really good things that you could take from it too. So
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
looking
nice.
back, you know, maybe bring the good that you felt back in your daily life.
Yeah, and I think also it's really nice. I feel like a lot of us are more content like being in our homes and nesting, and we just like appreciate having people over and like all social occasions now. Every time I go to a concert, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. I couldn't do this for a really long time. So, you know, gotta have gratitude too. All right, coming up on Studio 13 Live, Blue Ice Vodka is joining us in studio with a look at how to make some frozen cocktails.
Okay, I'm eyeing them from the side of my eye here, and it looks so good. Spring Break Frosé, Huckleberry Lemon Freeze. Oof, we'll be right back. Hello, it is time for Seattle Sips, where we highlight some delicious drinks in our area.
And today we are joined by Tom Gibson with Blue Ice Vodka. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
Love it.
So tell us about Blue Ice Vodka and what kind of cocktails it pairs well with.
All right, so Blue Ice is a potato vodka, and we're Pacific Northwest brand. We're from Idaho. So we always talk, the potatoes come in the front door, the vodka goes out the back. Potato vodka is really, really smooth. So I think the best cocktails are martini or anything you do with fresh fruit. And hence, that's what we're doing things today. We're doing things with fresh fruit.
That's beautiful. And I mean, summer, you can almost touch it. It is almost here. So it is the right weather for some frozen cocktails. So talk to us about the drinks that you're going to be making.
Sure. I made one up already.
Okay.
So what we do is we take our potato vodka. So huckleberries are the state fruit of Idaho. So we infuse our potato vodka with huckleberries. And huckleberry pairs great with anything lemon. So all I did was take some lemonade and made this frozen huckleberry drink. I want you to take a sip of it if you can. And
It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it, Mireya.
it's so good.
It's so bright.
It's so fresh. It's delicious.
Ooh,
so
that tastes like candy.
I love that. They're just, and that cocktail there, it's about 100 calories.
Oh, I love that.
Keep the calories low.
Yeah.
So let's make the watermelon cooler. I'm going to grab some watermelon here and drop it in. And we're just going to blend that up. So this is great for by the pool. And you have some friends over. It's that fast.
Oh, that was quick. Yeah.
Just get a little puree in there. And then I got to add the blue ice. I'm going to add about, for this, I'm going to add about an ounce and a half.
When you're at home, you could really get generous. You know?
You can get a lot more.
Eyeball it.
Exactly.
Just make it your own.
Add the ice, and I'm just kind of eyeing all this just for time.
Beautiful.
Get it back on there. And then you're out by the pool. You're having fun
so
with your
fast.
blender. And look at this, how fast this is. This one probably needed a little bit more ice, but that's okay.
That's okay. It's like a little slushy.
It's like a little slushy
The
there.
fresh fruit always feels fancy too. If you have people over and you make them something with fresh fruit, with a little slice of watermelon on the side,
Who
I
doesn't
mean,
love a watermelon
hey,
cooler?
This has
forever.
Carly's
Thank you
name
so
on it.
much.
Try.
Like, don't drop this.
Gotta take a big old gulp, girl. How is it?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that
is
super
so
smooth,
awesome.
super delicious. Love the watermelon.
Okay, so we got a third drink.
Yeah.
She's like, no, don't.
Got it. You got to keep them down. Okay, so frosés are big. Everybody's
yes, I
loving their
love a frosé.
frosés. So what I like to do is I like to add a little bit of strawberries, just because if you're going to make a frozen cocktail, you want to have a little bit of that pulp. It just makes a better cocktail.
texture.
A little texture, exactly. So I got this Charles & Charles rosé at the store. It's from Columbia, Washington. I thought, well,
Sure,
one in
why
Rome.
not?
Let's add a little bit of that in there.
Rosé is quickly becoming like one of my favorite wines.
Yeah,
too.
it's great.
Yeah.
Especially for when it's like nice and warm out.
Yeah, so you're by the pool. I'm just going to give this a quick little, maybe I'm not.
And so why do you blend the fruit before, why don't you put the ice in it right all together?
Because I wanted to make sure that the fruit got all blended up and got a nice little puree, and I didn't want to get it in the ice.
That
And so
makes
that's the only reason why.
That's
but
a good tip.
I
would
wasn't-
just put it all together.
I could have probably
But
done that.
I'll also tell you, I'm that person when I'm cooking something and they say, put it in 2 separate bowls. I'm putting it all in one bowl. We're not
It's all the
separating
same.
dries
It's all
and
the
wets.
same.
It's all going in. It's all going down at the same time anyway,
That's
right?
probably the right way to do it.
Yum.
So this is your blue ice frosé. Think about it. It's going to be summer before you know it. You're going to pour that in. You're by the pool.
Beautiful.
Who's not going to love that?
Who's not going to love that?
At your outing? I think I even have a strawberry here that's ready to go.
Ooh, look at how fancy.
And then-
Okay, you or me? You or me?
Go for it. You're up next.
And if you think about it, I mean, these cocktails take, what, 10, 15 seconds to make?
Yeah,
It's
so fast.
It's so fast.
Wow.
Is that good?
Fantastic.
That is very good. Oh my goodness.
Tell us a little bit more about where you get the potatoes from and how the vodka's made.
Thank you. I will. I appreciate that. Let me make that little strawberry. Pretty. So being an Idaho distillery, all the potatoes come from Idaho. We only use Idaho russet potatoes, which is really, really cool. And the thing is about blue ice is that it's kind of hard to make vodka from potatoes. Not many people are doing it anymore. And it's because in this bottle, there's 9.5 pounds of potatoes.
Whoa!
In one bottle of one little bottle of vodka. So it's expensive to make potato vodka, but we do it because it gives you the smoothest, softest vodka in your mouth. It's just really,
This is
really
probably
wonderful.
a really dumb question, but if you're not using potatoes to make vodka, what are people using?
Most people use corn now because corn is half the price and you get twice the yield. So you get twice as much vodka from corn. And I always tell people, I go, we're kind of stupid that we're still doing it with potatoes.
but it's good.
But it's the best vodka on the market, and that's
Right.
why we do it.
When
We
in
just love the
Idaho.
vodka. When in Idaho. If you're from Idaho, you have to use potatoes, don't you think?
That's absolutely true. Now, I hear that your vodka also gluten-free, no sugar added. added. So talk to me about that decision and if it affects the flavor.
It doesn't affect the flavor. We can do it because we actually use potatoes. Great question, by the way. So during the distillation process, some of the starch converts to sugar naturally, so we don't have to add any sugar to make it sweet. So when you taste it, it has this nice sweetness, but because it's potato vodka, it has a smooth, creamy finish. So we get the best of both worlds using potatoes, and that's really why we do it. And what's great about Blue Ice is since it's a Pacific Northwest brand, you can pretty much get it anywhere here in Seattle. So you can get it at QFC or Fred Meyer or Total Wine or Bevmo, and you can pick it up pretty much anywhere that you want to find it. And I really highly recommend it. Not just because I work for them, because I think it's a great vodka.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tom. Thanks for coming in. These were absolutely delicious. And we've got a link with some more info on Blue Ice Vodka up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live. Thanks.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
These give pool vibes 100%.
Need to find a pool.
Delicious. Yeah, gotta find a pool. All right, coming up on Studio 13 Live, here from actress and producer Roma Downey.
I asked her all about her favorite behind-the-scenes moment with Dennis Quaid while producing the new film, On a Wing and a Prayer. Check it out right after the break. You know her from Touched by an Angel. Chatting with me now is the producer of On a Wing and a Prayer, Roma Downey. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you. And thank you for speaking to me about my beautiful new film.
I'm so excited to talk to you all about it. So you produced this film, which is based on the real life story of this family that has to land an airplane after the pilot dies mid-air. What made you want to tell this story?
When the script arrived on my desk, a beautiful script written by Brian Eggleston, it was just a page turner. I couldn't put it down. And I couldn't believe that it was an actual true story. A family of believers who get on a small plane. They're hurtling through the air out of Fort Myers, Florida, when the pilot unexpectedly dies of a massive heart attack. It sounds just like your worst nightmare. They prayed in for help. Their people on the ground mobilized in such an extraordinary way. And the whole event in true life happened on an Easter Sunday. So the fact that Amazon Prime have given us this fantastic opportunity to launch this film on Prime over Easter is just perfect. It's upbeat, it's heartwarming, it's filled with hope. It's a great reminder to the power of prayer, and it's beautifully acted. Dennis Quaid is in the leading role, Heather Graham, Jesse Metcalfe. The picture was directed by Sean McNamara. And, in movie making, it takes a village, and so we just found great cast, great crew. We had the challenge of making the movie during the COVID pandemic. And so a lot of things had to come together coincidentally for this film to happen, to get made. On Touched by an Angel, we used to say that coincidence was God's way of remaining anonymous. And I really do believe that. We had so many coincidences, both in the story of the film and in the making of the film. But the end result is just a film, I think, that's going to expand people's hearts. It's going to have you cheering, and it's going to have you tearing. And it's a film that you can watch with your whole family.
I feel like we could all use a film like that these days. And I'm so glad that you brought up the incredible cast in this too. Dennis Quaid, Heather Graham, and Jesse Metcalfe. What was your favorite memory behind the scenes on the set of the film with all these great actors?
Well, it was an odd coincidence that Dennis Quaid is actually an excellent pilot in his own life. In fact, he had come in to meet with me on a completely different project. And he mentioned during the conversation that he flew planes, and the light bulb went on for me because I had this script that I was developing on a wing and a prayer. And I said, would you take this script home and read it? And that's when the conversation began with Dennis to get him involved. But, we would have him in the cockpit. And of course, he's telling us what he should be doing. And then we're like, don't do that. You don't know how to do that, Dennis. And so it was an odd scenario that he was trying to unlearn what he already expertly knew.
Oh my gosh, that is so interesting too. He has to pretend like he doesn't know, but he's actually an expert, which is kind of a good thing. That's really interesting. I want to talk to you about...
And then another just little Dennis Quaid anecdote at the very end of the movie. a song plays. It's a country twang, and the song is called I'll Fly Away, and the song is being sung by Dennis Quaid himself. So I don't think anywhere it says that, but when you watch the movie and you hear him singing at the end, he's just a very talented guy. He sings song, he's a movie star, and he flies planes.
Seriously, man, you're getting like the whole package with him. I have to ask you about Touched by an Angel too, because I mean, you're so iconic from that show. Does that, when you think about that now, does that feel like a long time ago, or does that feel like yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a long time ago, but you know, the lasting gift for me had been my friendship and with my beloved Della Reese, and I had the good fortune and the privilege to have loved her right up to the end of her life. I mean, I still love her, but you know, she was my friend right through to the end of her life, and it was just such a love affair. You know, the relationship you saw on screen in Touched by an Angel was reflected very much by our genuine love and affection for each other off screen. And you know, I am a believer, so it was a wonderful privilege for me to be able to deliver a message on network TV and to remind everybody of the love of God on a weekly basis. And I've continued to do that with my career all these years. You know, I'm interested in the themes of hope, themes of light, themes of upliftment. I think there's enough darkness in our world, and we can't turn the news on, but there's something else awful that's happening somewhere. And I think when we snuggle in the couch at night with our families, we want to see something that uplifts us and opens our heart in positive ways. So that's the kind of content that I'm interested in making as a producer. I've done it when I've been an actor. I've done it in the books that I've written. And I think On a Wing and a Prayer, screening this Easter is just filled with redemption and hope. And, you know, I hope that people have that as a takeaway when they see the film.
I love it. I love your positive attitude, Roma. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a happy Easter.
You too. We'll see you soon. All right, everyone, you can catch On a Wing and a Prayer this Sunday on Amazon Prime. And still ahead on Studio 13 Live, we are taking you on an Art Deco architecture tour around downtown Seattle. Learn about the Smith Tower's unique design with the Seattle Architecture Foundation right after the break.
From the Smith Tower to the Exchange Building, the Seattle Architecture Foundation hosts tours around Seattle to teach us all about their unique designs.
Yes, I've always loved Art Deco, and I thought it would be fun to take a little walking tour to learn how to spot it around downtown Seattle. So come with me as we tour some of Seattle's iconic buildings and see how architects put a Northwest twist on these photogenic beauties. Let's go. Let's head back to the Roaring 20s because today we are going on an Art Deco architecture tour with the Seattle Architecture Foundation. Let's go. So Nancy, we are going on the Diamonds and Gold tour today. What does that include?
That includes some of the gems we have in downtown Seattle. We have some wonderful examples of Art Deco here, and they have their own Northwest twist.
So I think when people think of Art Deco, they might think of Miami, they think of New York, but does Seattle have a lot of Art Deco?
Go around town, you will see Art Deco everywhere.
In learning about Art Deco, what are kind of the defining characteristics that we're looking for?
There are really three defining characteristics of Art Deco, and I use this little mnemonic, and I can list them in very short order. And I use that phrase very short order because it's VSO.
So what does V stand for?
V stands for verticality. Art Deco buildings, they draw your eye up in a vertical fashion, really uninterrupted by much of a horizontal cornice or any of those things that go on in a lot of buildings. The second one is setbacks. Art Deco buildings typically have some element of a stair-step design at the top.
Okay, and what is O?
O is the ornamentation. We see these very stylized designs that reflect something about the region or something about the building, and they don't look like anything that had gone before. So we've got verticality, we've got setbacks, and we've got ornamentation.
VSO.
VSO.
Got that?
That's right.
You want to go?
Let's go.
So we are at the Seattle Tower. What are we seeing here?
The Seattle Tower was built in 1928 as the Northern Life Tower for the Northern Life Insurance Company. The exterior actually has 33 different colors of brick. But if you look at it very carefully, it's much darker at the bottom than it is at the top. And they wanted it to look like a mountain. When you look at a mountain, you see that it sort of gets lighter and recedes in your vision as it gets nearer the top. In the lobby, they wanted it to look almost like a cave, and they described it as we wanted to look like a sophisticated caveman might make it look.
So I'm noticing some of the defining characteristics of Art Deco in these chandeliers right here.
These chandeliers themselves have every element of Art Deco design. Their verticality, a very vertical orientation. They have setbacks at both the top and the bottom, sort of stair step. And then they have the ornamentation with this low relief, like a column almost on each side. This lobby has, for the most part, been brought back to its 1929 glory. Often seen in Art Deco buildings is the lobbies were very dark. And you would walk in and it was like, oh, you know, this is
like a cave.
Like a cave, like a sophisticated caveman might make it.
Okay, so this is the Exchange Building. What was this built for?
This was built in 1929, designed by John Graham Sr. It was built to house the Seattle Northwest Commodities Exchange, Stock Exchange, Wheat Exchange, sort of like a stock exchange here in Seattle. It was built to reference what was going on inside the building in terms of its ornamentation. So this building has lots of different agricultural references on the decorations, cultural abundance, agricultural abundance. You'll see sheaves of wheat, stone fruit, artichokes.
Okay, I love fruits and veggies, so you're speaking my language.
This is your building to go in and see fruits and veggies, wheats, flowers, all kinds of things.
We made it to the Exchange Building. You want to show me around?
I do.
Oh, is this font Art Deco?
Or it's called Deco, actually.
Called Deco. So cute. I love the sort of Gatsby vibes of the door and the font and this whole entrance.
And there are lots of things to see here, actually. Stained glass windows that have stylized wheat. This building is faced with a material called Romanite that was actually manufactured in Ballard.
I have to say, Art Deco is very fun to touch. There's just so much detail. I'm a big toucher.
Yes.
I have to touch everything. I love it. So we just got to the foyer. Everything in here is so fancy. Tell me about this.
It is so fancy, and you know, nothing goes undecorated in Art Deco. And we have these beautiful heat registers, and they have little berries on them, and even the marble that's coming out from the heat registers comes out like rays of the sun.
And like these details are all around you all the time, but you just don't always stop to look at it. Nancy, thank you so much. That was so fun.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. It was really fun for me too.
It was. I feel like I learned so much, and I hope you guys do too.
I did learn so much. That was so fun.
VSO, verticality, setbacks, ornamentation. It's really fun because if you're walking around downtown and you're like, is this Art Deco? I don't know. Just do that little test.
Very nice.
All right, you can check out the Seattle Architecture Foundation's downtown tours, and they also host great tours around different neighborhoods as well. We've got a link with some more info up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. All right, coming up, we are cooking some modern Mexican cuisine with Cantina Monarca.
And I can already smell it. It smells so good. Learn how to make their heirloom tomate salad and Wagyu tacos. We'll be right back.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around like sunshine.
It is time for Emerald Eats, where we get to highlight delicious food in our area.
Yes, and today we are joined by the Director of Culinary Operations, Ephraim Fry Galler. Welcome, welcome, as well as Executive Chef Michael Alvarez with Cantina Monarca. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
The way it smells so good in here, guys.
Yes.
I cannot take it. And you know, you guys just recently opened in Bellevue. I haven't had a chance to visit, but I've seen some of the photos. So talk to me about the vibe that you're going for.
The vibe is, it's an elevated take on modern Mexican cuisine. We really focus on authentic ingredients. We focus on hospitality. We've imported a bunch of different types of wood and vine from Tulum, Mexico, from Oaxaca. We've handcrafted it to actually build the interior.
Beautiful.
We really want to curate an experience and we want to take you out of Bellevue. We want you to be able to visit Tulum, Mexico, just for an hour or two in Bellevue, Washington.
It's a lot cheaper than flying all the way down there. Tulum is expensive now.
It is. It's become very popular, and so we really wanted to bring that feel and that palette and that sense of hospitality, that getaway in the middle of the city. We wanted to bring that here to Bellevue, Washington.
Well, I'm so excited we're getting started. What are we making today?
Oh, we have two incredible yummy dishes for you. Chef right now is putting on our Wagyu steak. And that's going to be for our Wagyu Chingon taco. Obviously, we make everything in-house, including our tortillas. And we're also going to prepare for you an heirloom tomato salad.
Beautiful. A homemade tortilla really makes such a difference.
It is the difference. It's like having a pizzeria and having a really bad crust.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that the base, the foundation of it, is really, really what we're focused on. And so we make it by scratch. We have 3 different types of tortillas. We use masa harina. We have the blue, we have the yellow, and we have a red as well.
Get a little taste of everything.
Absolutely. And we're making those all in-house every single day. As we kind of go through the day, we're making those fresh.
That is amazing.
Tell us, you touched on it a little bit with the ambiance of the restaurant.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about what guests can experience when they dine in.
When you come in, you're really going to be transported. And so from everything from when you walk in, the kitchen is right in front of you, so the smells and the sights, the music is loud and moving, the environment is just energetic.
Oh, I love it.
And the hospitality is really next level. Our job is to really create an experience and curate that for the guests, so when they walk in, they can really just leave everything from their lives at home, and they come in and they're going to experience this authentic Mexican cuisine, this tremendous elevated tequila bar. We have over 100 types of tequilas.
Ooh.
We even have some back pocket tequilas. So if you don't like what's on the menu,
100 plus.
those are tequilas that if you're looking for something a little bit extra. So if you ask us, we might have something special for you.
Okay.
We feature many different kinds, Clase Azul, La Gretona. We have many different kinds of tequilas. We also do our flights.
Beautiful right here.
Isn't that awesome?
Can we try these?
Absolutely.
Is that all right?
What's this one I've got here?
Absolutely. That one right there is hibiscus and cranberry.
Okay.
And this right here?
And this is the spicy pepino. That's got cucumber
picosito.
and jalapeno. Everything is made from scratch.
I love this.
All of
Takes
our
me to like
juices.
rooftop vibes.
Ooh, so
That's
fresh and
so
delicious.
That's exactly what we're going for.
Yeah.
Mexican food, Mexican cuisine really has taken on many, many different sort of approaches. And our approach is we want to get back to the authentic nature of the cooking. We want the ingredients to speak loud and true to themselves and really be crafted in the care of the way the abuelas make it, the way the grandmothers made it.
Yeah.
And Chef Michael, bringing his talents and passion and skills from Mexico, has really helped elevate us and set us on an incredible trajectory.
It's beautiful. And, we were joking before we started with this segment that, I, as a Latina, Mexicana, my taco skills are not up to par, my friend. So I have to hear, what is the trick when you're cooking that meat for a delicious taco?
Absolutely. So when you're cooking the beef, specifically because we're dealing with beef here, we're using Wagyu. And in fact, if you come to Cantina Monarca, you ask us, we also offer halal meats. So this meat here is actually from Australia. So it's Wagyu from Australia. So it's the quality of the meat to start. And then the second trick is to season it nicely. And then the third is to have a really, really hot sear. So you want to get the outside of that meat cooked really nice and get that caramelization. And then on the inside is just beautiful and moist and juicy, flavorful to add onto your taco.
Beautiful. Now, as we are prepping this tacos, tell us about your vegetarian options. You also have some delicious salads.
We do. We have some incredible vegetarian and even vegan options.
That's awesome.
One of the incredible things about our menu is on our menu you will not see anything that says gluten-free, and there's one reason for that. The entire menu is gluten-free.
Oh, wow. That's
we
fantastic.
do not carry any gluten in the building other than beer. So when you come into our restaurant, if you have celiacs or you have some gluten-free concerns, you can come in and eat everything on there.
That's wonderful. So inclusive.
It really is, and we really crafted the menu to be that way. We wanted everybody to be able to come and, like I said, have a curated experience, a real elevated sense of hospitality.
Wonderful.
The vegetarian options are endless. For example, on tacos, we have a mushroom tinga.
Yum.
We have some wonderful salads. We're going to do the tomato here in a moment. We have 3 different kinds of guacamole.
Ooh,
and
beautiful.
everything, again,
Look
is
at
made
this.
fresh
I'm
in-house.
not going to lie. I've been eyeing this guacamole.
Have a taste,
I might,
please.
I might just have some. I love guac.
Absolutely.
If guac is on the menu, I get it.
Yeah,
As a rule of
absolutely.
thumb.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I cannot wait to see your tomate, your tomato salad, because we got a little peek of it, and it also looks beautiful. But these tacos, I have to say, look at that. The color. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's again, it's allowing those ingredients to really speak forward. You can see them assembling. We have asadero cheese that we're using on the tortilla there. That's at the bottom. Then we have our handmade guacamole. Then we have that beautiful piece of wagyu. Then we also have our salsa tatemada or quemada, and that is with charred onions and jalapenos and
Is this microgreens on the
lime,
top?
and then just a little bit of microgreens
Nice.
and ichnipek.
Get in there,
Some
girl.
pickled
Get in
onions.
there.
Have it. Try it. They're meant to eat.
The yellow or the blue?
Como
They're
te
both
quieres.
como yo quiera.
Get in it.
There you
Just
go.
me,
Your
my
choice. You want me to help you? I'm like getting a little bit nervous here. How is it? So good. That's a look of. Give me some more.
I'm gonna hold this taco. 'cause
Amazing.
It's mine.
We'll have a
So
bunch
we've got
for you
about
as well.
1 minute left.
Absolutely.
We've got this amazing
Salad, yeah, that we were talking about.
yeah.
Chef, do you want to
show us
introduce them?
that?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Let's take a look at that salad.
So the ingredients that we have, Chef?
Now, for the next salad, we have the tamarind mousse. This the flavor is acid. We have heirloom tomatoes. The combination with the sweet tomato is great in the
Beautiful.
fruit
So
great.
taste. Now we have this mousse is cream cheese with tamarind.
Woo! She's not wanting to come out, y'all. That's okay. You know, we only have about 30 seconds left. But as we are prepping for this, you can be sure to check out exactly how delicious Carly thinks this is.
Yes.
On
our
social
website.
media.
Yeah, and on our website.
If
Yeah.
you want to see the finished version of the dish.
Oh, we have it over here. Take a peek
You know
over
what?
there.
Let's talk TV magic here. Let me just try a bite
Absolutely.
of that. What you got going on
Ooh,
over there?
that looks
We
so
have some
beautiful.
tamarind mousse over there.
I love it.
Beautiful. And you know, while Carly is trying this, I want to thank Efrain and Michael for coming here and sharing all of this with us. And this is the beautiful part, all the recipes on our website.
Fox13Seattle.com/Studio13Live. We'll see you later. Bye. I'm Jody.
It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make